The kid hadn't eaten in almost 2 days. Not a proper meal. Not even close. And still, the very first thing he did when he saw the old man struggling with 2 overstuffed grocery bags on the corner of 8th and Marshall, was step forward and say, "Yo, lemme carry that for you, sir." Crazy, right? A hungry 10-year-old, ribs practically counting themselves through his jacket, offering help instead of asking for it. Nobody around them stopped. Nobody even looked. That's how it goes in a city like Cleveland. Especially in a neighborhood like this. People mind their business so hard, it's like they've trained themselves not to see things. You walk past moments like that the same way you walk past a stray dog. You feel something for half a second, then keep it moving because you've got your own problems. But the boy Elijah Monroe, 10 years old, skinny enough that his elbows looked sharp through his sleeves. He didn't know any of that. He didn't know the old man in that long gray coat was worth more money than every house, every car, every little store on that whole block combined. Nah. All Elijah knew was simple: the man looked tired. The bag was about to rip. And his mom before she died told him one thing he never forgot: help people. Even when you got nothing. That one decision, on a cold November afternoon, outside a small corner store, was about to flip his whole life upside down. And not just his. The whole city would remember it. East Cleveland in late November, man, everything looks gray. Not just the sky. The buildings. The streets. Even the people. That kind of gray that sinks into your bones. Old apartment blocks leaning like they're tired of standing. Chain link fences hanging crooked like they gave up years ago. Folks at bus stops with hands buried deep in thin jackets, trying to pretend the cold ain't cutting straight through them. And the wind, don't even get me started. That Lake Erie wind hits different. It don't just blow, it slices. Gets into every gap, every sleeve, every crack, and reminds you real quick, winter ain't coming. Winter already here. And it ain't leaving. 2 blocks from the lake sat a small grocery store, Marshall Foods. Been there 43 years. Same old bell on the door, still making that weak little ding every time someone walked in. Every time it opened, cold air slipped inside like it owned the place. And across the street Elijah stood there. Hands buried deep in sleeves too long for him. Jacket passed down so many times it didn't even belong to anyone anymore. Sneakers 2 sizes too big, stuffed with newspaper so they wouldn't fall off when he ran. Yeah, ran. Because sometimes running was necessary. He wasn't planning to steal. Nah. His mom had drilled that into him: stealing ain't just taking something. It's opening a door you can't close again. So he stood there, waiting. Hoping. Maybe someone drops a coin. Maybe someone forgets a bag. Maybe there's a piece of bread left behind. Hope, Elijah learned, was fragile. You hold it too tight, it breaks. He'd been on his own for almost 3 weeks. Grandma gone to a care facility after a fall. Social worker promised help, then disappeared. So Elijah stopped sleeping at home. Too risky. Too many stories about what happens when people in suits come knocking. Stories that made cold sidewalks feel safer than warm rooms. Everything he owned fit into a broken strap backpack. A notebook. A tiny pencil. A photo of his mom holding him as a baby. And one peppermint candy, saved for a moment he couldn't even imagine yet. Truth is, he wasn't just waiting for food. He was waiting to be seen. Then the door opened. And out walked the old man. Didn't look like someone who needed help. Tall. clean, composed. Silver hair, neat. Long charcoal coat, expensive, but old school. The kind you buy once, and keep forever. Cane in one hand. 2 heavy grocery bags in the other. Too heavy. Way too heavy. Elijah saw it instantly. That bag was about to give up. Paper softening, bottom stretching, 3 steps max. That's all it had left. The old man didn't see it yet. But Elijah did. And what he saw wasn't money, wasn't status, wasn't anything like that. He saw a tired human being. Someone about to drop everything in front of people who wouldn't even flinch. So he moved. Didn't think. Didn't hesitate. Just crossed the street. "Sir, your bag, it's about to rip. Lemme carry it?" The old man stopped. Looked down. Then at the bag. Then back at the boy. And for a second, he just blinked. Like the moment caught him off guard. Then a small smile cracked through. "Well, looks like you're right." Elijah stepped in carefully. Lifted the bag before it could tear. Held it like it actually mattered. Even though his stomach was screaming. Even though he hadn't eaten. Even though that weight pressed right into his ribs. He didn't let it show. Not even a little. "Where you headed, sir?" "About 6 blocks. Near the lake." "That's cool. I'll walk with you." No hesitation. No complaint. Just purpose. And for Elijah that meant everything. Because for the first time all day, he wasn't just standing still. He was going somewhere. They walked. Cold wind pushing against them. Silence at first. Not awkward. Just, quiet. Passing shops. A laundromat glowing warm. A man outside a liquor store nodding like he'd seen this before. Then finally. "What's your name, son?" "Elijah Monroe." The old man repeated it slowly. "Elijah, strong name. My mom picked it?" Something shifted in his voice. Just a little. The old man caught it. "Then she chose well." Silence again. Then gently. "What does your mother do?" Elijah didn't look up. "She passed. Almost a year ago." No fake "I'm sorry." No empty words. Just. "Then she's still choosing your name every time you say it?" That hit different. Elijah felt it. But he held it in. Because crying wasn't something he could afford anymore. They kept walking. Step by step, until finally. A black car came into view. Clean. Long, expensive. Driver standing beside it. Sharp. Watching. Elijah slowed down. Something about that didn't feel like his world. But the old man said softly. "That's just Marcus. He drives me. Good man." Still. Elijah stayed alert. Street life teaches you that. They reached the car. Introductions made. "Mr. Monroe," the driver said. That title hit Elijah in the chest. Nobody ever called him that before. Mr. Monroe. Sounded like someone important. For the first time in a long time, he felt like maybe he was. Then came the moment. The old man reached into his coat. Elijah knew what that meant. Money. And weirdly he didn't want it. "I didn't do it for money, sir." Clear. Firm. "I did it 'cause the bag was about to break." The old man paused. Then smiled. "I know. And instead of cash, he handed him a card. A simple one. Name. Number. That's me. If you ever need help, call. No pressure. No conditions. Just, trust. Elijah took it. Slipped it into his jacket. Right next to his mom's photo. Then the old man asked something unexpected. Would you join me for supper? Not pity. Not charity. An invitation. Like he mattered. Like he belonged at the table. And Elijah stood there, cold wind hitting his face, stomach twisting, heart unsure, thinking about everything he'd been through, and everything this moment could mean. Because sometimes, one small act of kindness changes everything. And this was just the beginning. Writing Elijah froze for a second. Not because he was scared, but because this moment, it felt unreal. The kind of moment that don't happen to kids like him. He looked up at the calm blue eyes. At the silver hair. At the brown leather gloves, folded steady over that polished brass cane. Everything about the old man quiet. Controlled. Different. Elijah glanced sideways at Marcus, who had stepped back like he knew this wasn't his moment, pretending to check something on the car door. Giving space. Respect. Yeah, this was real. Yes, sir, Elijah said finally. Voice low. But steady. I'd like that. Thank you, sir. Harold gave a small nod. Like a deal had just been sealed. Not big. Not loud. But important. Good, he said softly, and gestured toward the open car door. Elijah paused. Right there at the edge. Like someone standing at the side of deep water, not sure if it's safe to jump. Then he stepped in. Man, the inside of that car, different world. The seat alone was bigger than his grandma's couch. Soft leather. Warm. Like it had been waiting just for him. There was this quiet hum under the floor. At first he thought something was wrong, then realized nah. That's heat. Actual heat. Keeping the car warm before they even got in. Elijah sat stiff. Back straight. Backpack tight in his lap. Hands careful. He didn't touch nothing. He didn't have to. Didn't wanna mess anything up. Didn't wanna look out of place. Truth is he already felt like he didn't belong in something this clean. Harold eased himself in beside him slowly. Every movement careful. Like his bones had stories too. Marcus shut the door. Walked around. Slid into the driver's seat. And just like that the car pulled off. Elijah watched through the window, and something strange hit him. From inside the car the neighborhood looked smaller. Less heavy. The cracked sidewalks didn't bite. The cold couldn't reach him. The wind gone. Just gone. Marcus, Harold said calmly, Larchmere. And let Anna know we'll be two tonight. One of us is a young man with an honest face. Marcus smiled faintly in the mirror. Yes, sir. He caught Elijah's eyes for a second, gave him a small nod. No words. But it said enough. You're good. The drive about 15 minutes. But for Elijah, it felt like crossing worlds. The gray streets faded. Houses got bigger. Trees fuller. Everything cleaner. Quieter. He didn't say a word. Didn't ask anything. Just watched. Trying to understand how one city could feel like two completely different places. Larchmere Boulevard. Different vibe. Old brick buildings. Warm lights. Small shops lined up like they belonged there. And tucked between them a small restaurant. Simple. Quiet. Name written in soft gold letters. And as the second the door opened that smell hit. Fresh bread. Real bread. The kind that wraps around you and says you're safe here. Elijah felt it in his chest. Felt his shoulders drop without even trying. Marcus held the door. Bell chimed soft. They stepped inside. Small place. Maybe 12 tables. White cloth. Clean plates. Heavy silverware. Everything simple, but real. Warm yellow walls. Old photos. A kitchen. A life. Then she came out. Anna. 60s. Gray hair tied back. Eyes full of something steady. The second she saw Harold her whole face lit up. Harold, she said, grabbing his hands. 3 weeks. You disappeared on me. Doctors, Harold sighed lightly. They talk too much, she shot back. But she was smiling. Then she looked at Elijah, and here's the thing, she didn't react the way people usually do. No pity. No shock. No fake softness. She just stepped closer. Lowered herself to his level. And said simply, you must be the young man with the honest face. Pause. I'm Anna. This is my place. You're welcome here. That hit different. Deep. Thank you, ma'am, Elijah said. I'm Elijah. Elijah. She repeated slowly. Beautiful name. Then are you hungry? He hesitated. Because hunger you don't just admit that. Not to strangers. But the smell, man, that bread smell was hitting hard. Yes, ma'am, he said quietly. I think I am. Good, Anna smiled. Then we're already winning. She seated them near the window. Pulled Elijah's chair out like he mattered. Like he belonged there. That alone, yeah, that did something to him. Food came quick. Bread first. Still warm. Butter melting slow. Olive oil shining. Harold didn't rush him. Didn't watch him. Didn't make it weird. Just said eat. Elijah reached for the bread. Hands shaking just a little. Tore it slow. Dipped it. Took a bite. And man, that taste felt like something he forgot he ever had. He chewed slow. Eyes down. Didn't cry. But it was close. Real close. And Harold didn't stare. Didn't comment. Didn't say take your time or it's okay. He just turned slightly toward the window. And ate his own bread. Like this was normal. Like Elijah wasn't something to be fixed. That was respect. Food kept coming. Soup. Chicken. Potatoes. Milk. More bread. Anna moved like she'd been doing this her whole life. No questions. No pressure. Just care. Halfway through Elijah stopped. Too much food too fast. His body wasn't used to it. He set his fork down. Looked up. Sir, can I ask you something? You can ask me anything, Harold said. Small pause. Why are you doing this? Harold leaned back slightly. Took a sip of coffee. Thought about it. Then looked at him. Fair question, he said. Then slowly he told his story. About being 9. Hungry. Cold. Seeing an old woman drop apples. Having a choice. Take one, or help. He helped. She fed him. Again. And again. For years. She saved me, Harold said quietly. Then looked straight at Elijah. And today, you did the same thing for me. Silence. Deep silence. You helped when you didn't have to, Harold continued. So now, I'm returning that. That hit Elijah hard. Like something finally clicked. His mom's words came back. The world gets better when you choose to be better. Yeah, now he understood. Thank you, Elijah whispered. You already said thank you, Harold replied gently. Outside the store. They finished slow. Ice cream came. He made it last. Every bite. Like it mattered. Because it did. Outside cold air again. But it didn't feel the same. Not as sharp. Not as heavy. Then Harold turned to him. One more offer. A room. A bed. A door that locks. Safety. Real safety. Elijah stood there, thinking. About cold nights. Empty stomach. His mom. His grandma. The card in his pocket. Hope. That small fragile thing. Yeah, he said softly. Yes, sir. I'd like that. And just like that, everything changed. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just one decision. One moment. One door opening. And that was only the beginning.
Thanks for watching. Then I met next video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please.